shit. What is up, guys? This is Merc with the Mic, and this is the Game of Rage podcast by Cyclone Inc. I'm Merc with the Mic. I'm joined by Tenacious T.
Here in the physical.
We're actually live.
Yeah, man, this has been a long time since we have been able to sit down and do this face to face. You know what I mean? So, very happy to be here right now.
Yeah. So this is the first time live since I think the last thing we did was the Morphin Cast.
Yeah, well, that was really all we were doing at that time.
Yeah.
The pandemic actually blew more of podcasting opportunities for us.
Yeah.
Because we had nothing else to do.
I think we lined up recording a lot more.
Yeah, no, definitely did. We got a lot more product out there. So,
yeah.
Go, everybody, go and check out all those other casts. Like and subscribe, please.
Yes.
We're only as good as our fans.
So we're back live with this cast. This is the Game of Rage.
This is actually our first time live.
Yeah. As the Game of Rage podcast.
As a Game of Rage podcast, yes.
Yes. So, first things first, I guess we'll start with our segment, which is the challenge.
Yeah, we always like to start bashing me early. You know what I mean?
So we're gonna start with the challenge segment. Last time on Game of Rage, I was challenged on Comic Zone. You were challenged on Darkwing Duck.
Yes.
So how Darkwing Duck?
It's collecting dust right now.
Yeah.
The thing is with these NES games, man, they are just so hard. I don't understand the logic of Nintendo back in the day. You know, I guess kids have more time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that makes sense. There is no way you're sitting through this game for 3 hours. I only have 3 hours a day to do stuff.
Yeah.
So, we do what we got to do. So I'm playing, and I'm playing the game, and I'm getting through the first level, and then you hop into one of the little hidden chambers to get, stuff, because you need things to kill the bosses at the end.
Yeah.
And then you got to start all over.
Yeah.
Instead of continuing right where you were, you have to restart the whole thing. So I failed. I'm very upset about it. But I was even talking to Tristan.
Yeah.
From Game On. Always a fan of him and what they do. I even spoke to him. He even said it took him 3 long nights.
Yeah.
To beat that game, and he was like, he does not blame me for not being able to complete this challenge, because you need patience and you need a lot of time to dedicate.
Did it have a password thing?
Nah, not that I don't. I only made it past the first level, and that was it. I couldn't do anything else, because once you die, it's over.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is a hard game. I finished it. It's a hard game.
I just feel like a lot of NES games are that way, and I never realized it as a kid. But then again, I never really beat any games as a kid either, except for Mario.
Yeah.
Mario was always the ones that were probably the easiest to beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Especially, the first one, you fly through that thing. Especially know where all the hidden, tunnels and tubes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Just skip through it really quickly.
Yeah, that game was a little tough one.
But I'm not going to give up on it, because I feel like I'm on vacation right now. So one of the days where I decide to actually just sit there, I think I might try and tackle it again, even though I failed this challenge. It would be probably a personal thing for me.
Maybe a way you could probably do it is
just don't turn it off.
No, they have a Disney Afternoon game on Xbox One and PS.
See, I thought about that, but I wanted to go original.
Yeah.
I want that retro feel.
Well, they didn't change the game itself. The game is still the old game.
But the option to save, you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's the only thing that gives you the option to save.
So that makes it easier.
It gives you it has a rewind button, so you can rewind.
Do you think that's cheating a little bit?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Cheating's whatever.
Cheating's cheating. We're in a world full of cheaters.
Grown ass man.
Fucking cheater.
Yeah, so that's...
It was good, though. It looked good for the time of it, you know what I mean? And I was a big fan of Darkwing Duck growing up, so I was actually happy to attempt to do it. But unfortunately, I took another L.
Yeah.
This challenge. It's all good, you know what I mean?
All right.
We live and we learn.
Comix Zone.
Yeah, what you think of Comix Zone? I specifically chose that game because of me and you, how we relate to like comics and stuff like that. I felt like you would have enjoyed that game. How would you think of that?
So Comix Zone is interesting because it is a hard game. Like if you don't know what you're doing in that game, it's a really tough game. One thing I learned going into that was there's this little move that you do that's like a paper airplane. That move is very fucking broken in that game. So if you just launch that, it usually goes back and forth a few times and kills people off. Other than that, like I remember a lot of it because I remember beating it when I was a kid. So I kind of remember where to go. I kind of remember how the things you have to do is kind of like remember how to fight certain people. Okay. They all have like a certain pattern that you just go by and whatnot. Or you're just pretty much cheesing the fucking trip, and that's pretty much it. It was a fun game. The ending was kind of lackluster, but it was a fun game.
See, I never actually played the game.
Yeah.
I was just doing like research on things because I had like a feel that I wanted you to try. You know what I mean? Because like just to expand. Because I don't see too many people growing up that had that game.
Yeah.
And it looked, when I saw the gameplay on YouTube and stuff like that, it looked really, really cool. And I wanted to give you something fun.
Yeah. It was an interesting game. Like I haven't played it in a long time, so it was kind of just a throwback on. I remember actually having that for Sega Genesis, and that was a big game when it first came out.
Yeah, Game On, they got it in the showcase. Yeah. I think it's like $40, $50.
It's an interesting game. You could tell it was like a product of the '90s.
Yeah,
with the style
of course,
of it and everything like that. But it was a fun game. It's hard. Like you need to do your research and stuff like that. Our shout outs to Mike, the guy that usually pretty much like produces our podcast and all like that. Louis Beans, he does not like that game. Like he gave me a reason why.
I would love to hear.
I understand 100%. His reason was like, just the way the gameplay feels. It feels like it's that. I forgot exactly what he said. So you know what? I'll follow this question up and I'll ask and I'll have him talk about it in the Guest Better Shortcast. So basically, he would say his part of why he didn't like Comix Zone. So I remember I'll ask.
Go to the source for the
exactly because he said it on the cast before. I don't remember which one though because we do it every.
There's so much going on.
Yeah, so I liked the game. The game was fun. If I had to review it, I'll give it a 4. Like it was a interesting game. The style of it was fun. Like graphic wise, it was fun.
That's good because that makes me now want to go and venture off and play that. Even though I should have already done that, but like I said, it's not about it's not about what I've played. It's about a challenge to challenge you to something. And because I challenged you and you played it and you beat it, you caught the W. Now it makes me, because your review of it, a 4 is good. That's a good number.
It's a good game.
You know what I mean? So I will now go out and I'll buy it and put it to my collection because I collect as I go. So
but yeah, it was good. Were you carried Darkwing?
Well, Darkwing Duck, if I beat it, it would definitely probably have been a very euphoric moment because the game is just so hard.
It's a tough game.
It really is, and I don't know with because you tried to give me the Saturday morning cartoons.
Yeah.
As it, so I don't know if Chip and Dale's would have been better or if what else did you?
I think you would have been able to beat DuckTales.
Okay,
DuckTales is a tough game.
Well, DuckTales is a fan favorite. It's been around a long time, and I've played the game before. I just never had time to beat it as a kid because I always played games at other people's houses. So
DuckTales, I would have said it's possible for you to beat it. Like it is a tough game. I think every single Capcom one they did was a little tough, but Chip and Dale is better 2 players. So if you play with a person,
my niece, I'll probably get my niece to play with me.
It might be an easier game.
She's actually really into the. She has a Switch and she comes in my room.
Yeah.
Like, Uncle Tom, let's play some Mario and let's do this. I'm like, oh, I love this kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So like that one is better 2 players.
So like if I had to rate it from what I've seen of it, like graphic wise and gameplay wise, like I'll give it like a 3.5. I think it's a worthy enough game to play. I just wish I beat it. And now, like I did with Mario 2, when we discussed it in our first cast, I never beat that game growing up. So I might now make this a personal feat of mine to do it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I love Darkwing Duck. I was such a huge fan of that show growing up, and I never played the game. I've always watched it, and so I will go back and try, and it won't even be me accomplishing the challenge because the challenge is over. Yeah. It'll just be a personal thing. You know what I mean?
So, you know what? When you do that, we'll follow up on it.
Yeah, I'll get more into details of what I think of it. It's so hard, though. Like, even the first boss in that... Yeah. Things are being shot out all over the place while you're hanging from a rafter and you got to drop down 3 levels while the thing is jumping up. Yeah. So you cannot beat him without finding one of those hidden doors and getting the weapons where you shoot stuff. Because if not, you're getting killed rapidly. It's happening, and you're going back to the damn beginning of the game and you're like, I just want to throw something. You know what I mean? It's just the frustration of not being able to save is what is probably one of the few things that I didn't like with the NES era. You know what I mean? Like, as time went by, they understood the importance of it. Why make a game for people that you can't beat? Yeah. You know what I mean?
With Darkwing Duck, though, that came out, like, towards the ending of the cycle of the system, too.
Yeah.
So, it was in... Again, you probably wouldn't know it unless you actually saw it in... Because probably you were on the Genesis or Super Nintendo at the time. Like, it came out during that time.
And when everything's booming.
Yeah, so NES was still kind of leaving as a console and everything like that. So, so...
I liked it though. I thought it looked good. It's like your NES games, man. Yeah. It's just like it, just with Darkwing Duck. Okay. And you can't go wrong with it. You know what I mean? It's like, if you want a challenge, go and check that game out. Yeah. It's like $30-$40. Like, these games are like NES games. It's like specific ones like these. They're actually kind of expensive.
Yeah, Darkwing Duck I caught on...
I got to bring it back, but I'm not done with it yet. So when I'm done with it, I'll bring it back to you.
Darkwing Duck I caught on a good sale.
I got to get myself a Retron. You know what I mean? Because I got so many consoles laying on my floor right now because I got them all plugged in, and I just pop in the UV, the AV cables, and I just switch.
One thing I like about it is mainly because it connects HDMI.
Yeah, and you can play it on a big screen and stuff like that.
So that's not the big.
But I got a little boob tube. I got a little small, like 20-inch. Yeah. which is very nice.
So some games still don't look good without it. Like the Super Star Wars, it's terrible still. It's still like very fuzzy.
Yeah, I have Super Empire Strikes Back.
Yeah,
for Super Nintendo.
That's Super Star Wars.
I can't get past the first fucking board.
It's a hard game.
Everybody says the same thing too. They're like, "Why'd you make a game that's virtually impossible to beat?"
Yeah, I finished Super Star Wars. That one's a hard one. That one like took me a bit to beat.
See, I know a game. If I really, truly wanted to stump you, which is almost an impossible game, I have one in mind, but I don't want to do that to you, man. I want you to enjoy this. You know what I mean? One day I'm going to throw you that curveball and be like, this is the only game you're playing.
I'm surprised, though. Like,
I own it, too. I have it.
A lot of, like... Again, I've beaten a lot of them. Like, a lot of the hard ones that a lot of people, like, say is a hard game.
See, I'm jealous. I'm jealous of your free time because we work at the same place. I just commute so far, so my hours that I have time to dedicate is very slim. So,
but it's more like if I have it on the Switch, it helps.
Yeah,
like that, so.
Yeah. Like I just got myself. I know it's nothing crazy in the world of what's going on. Like everybody's hip to the Switch, but I just got myself a 2DS. Yeah, and I'll be honest, man, I love it.
There's a lot.
I love it to death, and the fact that it plays 3DS games, and they're still selling 3DS games and somewhat making them, producing them a little bit. Like, I have something handheld that I can walk around with. You know what I mean? So it's fun. I've been playing Mario 64 on it. Yeah, I know you've been seeing me, but letting everybody out there, everybody's at work is like, you're still playing that damn game? I'm like, I only play it at work. I only play it on the train. I don't play it at home. If I'm playing it at home right now, I'm still playing Quantum Break right now on Xbox One. I just started GTA 3 for PS2 because I've never beat any of the GTA games except for GTA 5.
This goes into the next segment that I kind of wanted to start in the class. What are you playing? So you're just...
but that currently is what I'm playing at home. I got NBA 2K20, which I started the Ultimate Fantasy Draft. Okay. And I got like Michael Jordan on the Knicks and, Rondo and I got Kobe Bryant. I got a whole bunch of people. You know what I mean? So I got that. I don't play that too much because sports games kind of frustrate me a little bit. Before I'm even done with the season, the new one's out.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's the way.
But if any sport game that I probably would rock the most is probably like the show. Like I like baseball games probably better, because it's just cut and dry. You know what it is. You don't need to learn very extravagant moves in order to win, and passing and assisting and dunking and blocking and that. With hockey's very fast paced. I can't even keep up with that damn game, man. So I'm playing that. I'm playing Quantum Break. Right after I'm done with Quantum Break, I'm thinking I'm going to play Prey for the Xbox One. And then for my... I got right now plugged in is I got GTA 3, which I never beat. I never beat it. I've only played it a certain amount of it.
Okay.
And what you call it? I'm getting through that slowly. I play like an hour. Yeah. Like an hour a day or something like that, like a couple days out the week. And then I got right now on my floor, I have Super Nintendo. Not Super Nintendo, I got Nintendo 64 on there. And right now inside there I have Star Fox 64, because I was playing that. And then I have Sega, which I have the Simpsons Streets of Rage 2, which is awesome. I know you know, because you got the Ninja Turtle one.
Yeah, I haven't got to try the systems yet.
I also have NES, which NES has Darkwing Duck inside of it right now, and then that's current. I'm all over the place, you know. I want a little taste of everything.
My focal point of what I've been playing, I just finished Ghost of Tsushima, which is a new PS4 game.
Is that like a subtitle game?
It's English.
Because I never played any of those, because that's like a hardcore Japanese game, right?
No, it's so funny.
It looks like that.
It's an American company that made the Japanese.
Okay, but that's crazy. That's nuts, actually.
Yeah, it's an American company that made a Japanese game, and they have options you can make it subtitled and shit like that. But it's funny because if you do the subtitles are off because it's English.
Yeah.
So like that, but
But that's for the hearing impaired.
But it's a beautiful game.
Yeah,
I hear, have like subtitles for like.
I hear a lot of good stuff. Alvin's been talking about it at work. Shout out to him.
Yeah. So he's been talking about it. I finished it. I just finished Last of Us 2. That's another amazing game.
I only played the first one, man. I got to play the second one.
So
I'm hearing mixed reviews. I respect and I would take your judgment over a lot of people's, because we have similar tastes. But I've heard from other people that I trust as well. Yeah. Not as much as you when it comes to this, but it sucked. I'm like, because the first one, that's some big shoes to fill, man. The first one was awesome.
Most people that said the game sucked are usually people that don't understand. Like they don't get 100% of the story. Okay. The story is what makes it.
Pay attention. Don't skip stuff.
Naughty Dog is making a game for you to listen. It's not making a game for you to make the choice. It's not making a game that you're the character. No, they give you the characteristics of all these people, and they want to tell you this story. And I think that's the big thing about it.
Well, the first one was awesome, man.
But I'll say the game is brutal. Yes, the game is very brutal, and it goes to a lot of doors. I want you to play it.
I'm definitely it's definitely on my list to play.
And I did Comic Zone a while ago, so I haven't touched a retro game in a bit some time. I started playing on the Switch. They have the Super NES stuff. They just added what was the fuck they added? Damn, I forgot what they added. But I just started playing it, and Donkey Kong Country. I haven't played that game in a long time, so I was like, you know what? Let me try this out, and I started playing through that. But yeah, it's fun. So we're gonna move on. We can move on to our next segment. Is pretty much the console that we want to.
Console of choice this week.
Set up, and
we've done so far. We've done the NES.
So NES was the first one. 64 was the second. The first episode wasn't exactly Genesis. We kind of talked about everything. So that one, I don't.
We might go back and revisit that one.
Genesis might be revisited.
Okay, that's fair.
So the first, we did NES, we do N64, and we're keeping it Nintendo. So the Game Boy.
Yes, which is the thing is, like, it's not a console. You know what I mean? It's the first real handheld that was popular. Now there was other handhelds at the time.
They were shitty handhelds.
But they were like those. Like I remember getting the ones that It'd be like the fighting X-Men games, like those handhelds and those. That's all it was just that one thing.
The Tiger.
And I would play that. I played the Yahtzee ones and stuff like that. Wheel of Fortune one was my shit. I loved that.
And you remember back in the day, playing match, what was it, playing?
I don't know.
Yeah, it was the black and white Nintendo ones. They used to look like the 3DS.
Okay, yeah. No, I know what you're talking about.
Those were like the original like portable.
But yeah, the Game Boy, man. I think the Game Boy. Don't they have a Game Boy in like the Smithsonian or something like that?
Probably.
Like
there's one that was in the moon.
Yeah,
and like no, it was like radiation or something.
I forget what it was, but I remember like.
And it still works.
See, like the Game Boy was awesome, man. Yeah. Like I like the big one from back in the day. But the only problem is with this Game Boy now. What I always hated, man. Well, one, the amount of batteries that you have to use for the damn thing. Two, I was one of those people who lost the back of it and had to tape the back. Yeah. So then you're sitting there and you're fighting through whatever you're playing, and then a battery pops out. You're like, fuck, and then you throw the fucking thing. You know what I mean? Like, I remember it was my mom's. My mom had it, and my mother never played it. She just, she had it for us to play, but she didn't want us to be consumed by it. You know what I mean? So. You got any fond memories?
This was the first like system that was mine. So my mom got me it for Christmas. She got me this with DuckTales. Talking about DuckTales. DuckTales was one of the first games I ever had, and I played it on the Game Boy first before I played it on NES. The Game Boy was fucking tough too, and I remember like the high I got when I first beat the game, and I was like, I finished it. Oh shit.
See, I loved, man, like, it was such a big deal to me when they came with the light. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, cause it was always the dark screen sometimes. And then you turn that light on and you were like, it was a whole different world just opened up.
So, if you remember back in the day, all the accessories that came with it, they had the flashlight, the magnifying glass,
the one at the top that pops in. Oh my god, I didn't have it, but I remember reading the pamphlets and the manuals that come in like Nintendo stuff.
It made your shit look like a Transformer.
It was cool though, you know what I mean? Like as a kid, you're wowed at this because this is the infancy of the time. What do we have before all this? No. We had what? We had Atari.
I remember.
We had what, that Galaxy system.
So you had. So the Game Boy came. It came with. You also had competitors. You had the Game Gear.
What year did the Game Boy come out?
89.
89. 89. Sounds about right. I thought it was like 88, 89, somewhere around there.
So Game Gear came out, I think, the following year. Because it came out during the second year of the Sega.
Yeah, the Sega Game Gear?
Sega Game Gear, which took 8 batteries.
I know, but I love that. Playing Mario, not Mario, Sonic and Knuckles. Yeah. Oh my god, that's all I played. But it would drain it. Like, you would have one day of batteries, bro.
And then you had the Atari Lynx, which one of our coworkers always talked about it because he still owns his, is Camacho.
Camacho, shouts out to Camacho.
Yeah, he always mentioned the Atari Lynx, and that was another one that came out.
You ever play a Nomad? I've never played a Nomad.
The Nomad is pretty much Sega Genesis. It was just a Sega Genesis portable.
Okay.
You
pop the whole together.
Yeah.
My friend, shout out to my boy Drew. He said he has one. He said he was willing to give it to me.
It's a cool system. Battery dies.
Of course, man. And then we used to have to get those little battery chargers, the recharges that. You can't recharge those batteries.
Or just throw them in the freezer.
Like what? Where was the logic in that?
It actually works.
It gives it a little bit back. It sparked the zinc that was inside.
There was a lot of TV controllers that didn't have batteries for it.
Yo, hell yeah, definitely. You took the batteries out of the remote. Mom, I'm playing Super Mario Land. I hope the battery falls out the back.
I think that was probably one of the first systems that kind of got a lot of adults' attention as well as kids.
Yeah, no, I saw a lot of adults playing it.
Yeah, and just like NES, they had so many different kind of games. They even had like crossword puzzles and things like that. But the one and only game that most people played that came with the system was Tetris.
And that game is timeless.
Yeah.
That game is still being mass-produced today in so many different forms.
But the funny thing is the fact that Tetris on the Game Boy is more iconic than Tetris on NES.
Yeah, no, the Game Boy, because you're just going around and you're just bugging out. You know what I mean? Like by the time you got to level 9, it's just insane. Yeah. You know what I mean? I always prided myself on being a master of Tetris. Though. I love Tetris, man.
Yeah, that was a fun game.
It teaches you not to be fidgety with your hands. You know what I mean? Because if you hit it too much, you're messing everything up. You know what I mean?
And that came with the system. That came with the system since the day one.
Yeah.
That was like the game you got, and
you got a nice font. You got a list of games that you used to play for.
So a couple that came to mind. Also, the Switch actually made a remake of it recently. It was the Zelda Link's Awakening.
Okay.
They did a HD full remaster of it on the Switch, but the Link's Awakening was an amazing game. Super Mario Land.
Yeah.
But Mario Land 2 was my favorite.
Yeah, no, I played more Mario Land 2 than anything.
One of my top 5 games.
I used to fly through that game so fast. I loved it.
And that was the introduction of Wario.
Yeah. And it was cool, man. That was probably the most played besides Tetris.
Yeah.
Super Mario Land was definitely that. I also played like the Ninja Turtles game a lot.
Yeah.
The Manhattan one, I think it was that they had.
Manhattan Project. No, not Manhattan Project. It was like Manhattan
something
Rescue or some shit like that.
Yeah, something like that. But I played that a lot. That game wasn't bad.
That was pretty cool.
That was probably one of the most manageable Ninja Turtle games for this time, for this era, because all the Ninja Turtle games were just so hard.
Yeah.
So like in the Game Boy, I felt Game Boy did it a little step better because it actually gave you a chance to fucking win. You know what I mean?
On the original Game Boy wise. You can't forget this one. This one is probably the most iconic one for a Game Boy, Pokemon.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, if you were into Pokemon.
Yeah, but even if you weren't into it, when Red and Blue came out, even people that was not into it picked up the game.
And we discussed this right before we started. We were like, what color did you pick?
And I always picked red.
Charizard. Why wouldn't you pick Charizard for?
Yeah, but I know a lot of people that pick Blue.
But the game had a very Zelda feel to it, where you got to travel through things, go into the huts, pick things up, do things. I attempted when I had the Game Boy Advance, and I was rocking with that before I gave it to our friend Jose for his nephew. He wanted to play something, so I was like, yo, here, take it. You know what I mean? I tried to attempt that game.
Yeah.
And it was cool. It's just I got bored with it after a little while. You know what I mean? It's just like when I could be playing Mario 3.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like Mario 3 was my game. You know, and still is my game today.
So like one thing I will say, this is going a little ahead of the Game Boy, but Game Boy Advance. I personally loved when they did the Mario Advance games. So they did Mario Advance 1, 2, 3, and 4, which was Mario 2, Mario World, Mario 3, and Yoshi's Island. And they remastered them. They remastered them with like the coins everywhere, and they kind of fixed the game a little bit.
I think I'm probably one of the only people on the planet that really don't like Yoshi, bro. I think Yoshi is just a stupid character. Yeah. It's like Toad. Like why? What were they thinking when they were making these characters?
Well, Yoshi's cool. He eats
Yoshi Land. It was fun for the Super Nintendo.
Yeah,
I remember that, but I'd rather have played Mario All Stars.
Yeah,
or Super Mario World. Super Mario World, right?
Yeah,
that's the one. That's one of the ones that I've never beaten before.
Yeah.
I have it. I just never beat it. It's just I don't know. It's just I have such too biased of an opinion for a biased love for Mario 3 that I never wanted to play it.
Yeah, another game, but like you said, Pokemon and things like that. Another game that got their first appearance on Game Boy was Kirby.
Kirby's another one.
Kirby was Kirby Dream World was the first he first appeared on a Game Boy game.
Didn't Earthworm Jim have a Game Boy game? I don't know.
I don't remember.
For some reason, I think I remember.
There's a chance they probably remade.
I wouldn't doubt it. For some reason in my head, I'm trying to go back and remember. Now the Game Boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had it, and I had a couple of games, but that was it. I wasn't going out buying games for the Game Boy.
Yeah.
I was going out buying games for other things. But then again, I also didn't have consoles like that, so I wasn't really buying too much. You know what I mean? Yeah. I would be that kid that was like, Mom, this, no, get away from that shit.
Because sometimes you get sometimes they came out with the games like on all 3 systems, so basically you got a Game Boy version, but they usually never really were as good as the console version. So then you would go into that one. Like I remember playing NBA Jam on the Game Boy, and it was nothing like the game NBA Jam.
What's it called? Tristan and Game On. They modify all the old school Game Boys and they sell it and stuff like that.
Yeah, they put the LED light on it.
Yeah,
so
I think that's so cool.
In the dark. because in the original Game Boy, like say for instance you're driving and it gets dark, you're fucked. Yeah.
Game On does a lot of pretty nifty stuff, man. They custom design their own little boob tubes and stuff like that. Like that makes it look like a Nintendo. You know what I mean? Like for any good collector out there, retro collector who loves the NES, like I suggest you guys go and check in and go look at it. They sell them for like $75. It's not bad. You know, they all work. The little RCA TVs are the best TVs for the old school video games.
Especially if you want the old school feel.
That's the only way to do it, man. Yeah. That if you are a retro gamer, you play it that way.
I don't.
I know you don't. You're spoiled.
No, I don't because I found ways.
Bougie little fuck you.
I have the original games though, but Game Boy was a unique system, and I think even to this day it stands the test of time.
And I've seen people still walking around with the old school fat block. You know what I mean? The thing is humongous.
I'm like, why don't you just get the little one? Like you don't have to change the battery.
Nah, but I respect that. Yeah. You know, you can put headphones in it so your mother's not yelling at you. You know what I mean? Like
that was the reason why I was able to put headphones in and
like, leave me alone.
Play my game.
Playing Super Mario Land 2. I also enjoyed Paperboy. Paperboy on there was fun. I enjoyed it. It's it's not as good as like the NES version or like there was a more advanced version of it. I forget on like a later console. I forget which one it was, but. It was nice. It was cool.
I think what we'll do with this one is pretty much this would be just for the Game Boy itself. We'll go into the Game Boy Advance and then the other ones.
No, they deserve their own segments.
Yeah, because there's so much stuff within.
The Game Boy Advance was amazing.
Yeah.
It was so good.
It was a good one.
I actually have the adapter for the Super Nintendo that you could put the Game Boy game in and then pop it into the Super Nintendo.
The Super Game Boy.
Yeah, that's why I have that.
I don't think it worked on the Game Boy Advance games though.
No, it's just a cartridge of the Game Boys.
Yeah.
But that's cool, you know what I mean? If you don't want that handheld feeling, but want to play those games, because you're not getting Super Mario Land as a physical thing, that was strict.
And actually give you some color.
Yeah, but you can get to play it on a TV screen. So like, if you're interested in going out and playing those games and just getting the effect, but not having the handheld aspect, I suggest everybody go and get that because I have it and it's cool as shit.
Or get a Retron 5.
Because like, why wouldn't you want to sit there and play Tetris on a screen? Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but the original, like the good one, like the old school one is the way it goes, man. It's timeless, and that is probably one of the most respected games. Simple games, but very respected. You know what I mean?
To this day, like it's still.
Man, we used to have tournaments at work.
Yeah.
I was inter shift champion for a little bit.
Poi Tetris. That's the game we played. Even though I have the Retron, I play Game Boy Advance.
That's cool.
Games.
That's the slot right there in the front.
Yeah,
that's cool.
So it plays.
I gotta get one of those, man. I asked them at Game On if they had it. They're like, don't you ever say that to me. They're very strict in there, and I love it. I respect the hell out of it, man.
I'm fine with that, but you play the way you want to play it.
Yes, of course. See, me, I'm setting myself up for failure because I'm being very strict on trying to get the old nostalgic feel of things.
That's
you know
fine.
what I mean? And that's my choice. If I'm gonna, you know what I mean? If I'm gonna switch it up just so I can be like, I beat it. You know what I mean? Because right now I failed 2 missions and I won 1.
Yeah.
And the first one, honestly, to me, that one win to me, I don't care, is probably one of the most glorious ones because that's a lifetime.
Yeah.
Took me to do that, and I did that. So I thank you. I'll always thank you for that because you gave me a reason to beat it.
All right. So Game Boy. We love it. The Game Boy Color, Game Boy.
Yeah.
Without it, you won't have portable, and I think it was probably one of the most iconic looking game systems in the world.
I agree.
All right. We can move on to another segment.
Yeah, we got our. We always like to showcase a specific game.
We do the games that paved the way, which is the games that paved the way for us.
Yes,
it doesn't have to be technically the game that's.
It's just our suggestion. If you're looking for our opinion on what's good games, go and check those out. It doesn't have to be the ones that revolutionized the whole world or changed everything, but just games that are fun, games that I feel and you feel, we collectively feel that if you are a gamer, go and check it out.
All right.
That's it.
So I'll let you go first.
I I've been thinking long and hard, and I've always tried and pick something that means something to me, and I'm gonna go with the 32X Sega system, Doom.
Doom, okay.
Because that game to me was it was just one of the first real graphic bloody ass games that it was just balls to the wall. You know what I mean? Like me as a kid, now I didn't know too many people who had the 32X system to pop into the Sega. My friend Billy had it. You know what I mean? Shouts out to Billy. So my mom used to babysit him, and I would just go over there and hang out, and he had the 32X system on, and it was just always that game that I just loved, and I have so much fond memories playing, because I have it for the Super Nintendo.
Okay.
It's not the same.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I can say that the Doom itself was, it's not as good gameplay as the Sega is. You know what I mean? Like the Super Nintendo version, which is the original version.
Yeah.
It's not as good. It's too pixelated. It's too fidgety.
Yeah.
Sega did it right. The 32X system, which is actually a hated system.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't like that fucking. A lot of people don't like it. You know what I mean? They only made a limited amount of games for it. You know what I mean? But the Doom, I highly suggest, if you guys do go out and you make that purchase. And if you make that purchase, I suggest you just buy the entire huge system with the Sega CD, the third generation Sega, and the 32X, and play the Doom. Because Doom was nice. It was so cool. You chainsaw the shit out of somebody. It felt like the original Gears of War, kind of. Like, that's where, to me, like, Gears got their kind of feel a little bit. Where you shoot motherfuckers with a shotgun, and then you chainsaw them in half and stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like, it was really cool. I really liked it.
I did play that one. I don't remember playing that one.
Oh man, I
had the 32X.
I never beat it, but I played it.
I had the 32X. I think I had the Sonic Chaos.
Okay. Which wasn't really a played and loved game at all.
It wasn't a loved
game. I don't think I've ever heard anybody ever utter those words.
Spider-Man? They had a Spider-Man.
Yeah, no, they did. Game On has a decent amount of systems. I mean, of the games and stuff like that. And half of them, I was like, I never even knew they existed.
I had a Spider-Man game. It wasn't worth the price at the time.
Yeah.
It was just a hectic thing, and if you still had the old 32, the old Genesis, you had to buy a piece to go inside for it to fit.
See, I never knew that people didn't like it. Yeah. I didn't know it wasn't successful because all I played was the Doom, and I was like, this is the fucking coolest thing ever. You know what I mean? And I was always like, yo, that's a cool attachment.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But as I got older, I'm like, everybody's like, yo, that shit sucked, bro. Why'd you like that for? I was like, I don't know. I did.
Hey, you dig, we dig. Mine is going to be a bit more of a newer one.
I was going to do a newer one, but the first thing that popped in my head was Doom.
And shout outs to DC Fandom that came out yesterday, and they showed all the showcase. I kind of want to showcase one game that kind of, I think, still stands the test of time, and that is Batman Arkham Asylum.
It's probably one of the greatest games ever made.
Yeah.
In like the history of games. The gameplay of that is insane.
It's probably still my favorite Batman game.
Yo, man, I'm very, very fond of all the Batman games.
Yeah.
I think the gameplays and everything like that, go and check them out. But you definitely, if you have to play one game, it's Arkham Asylum.
Yeah. That was my favorite one of the whole
Tell me
series.
It wasn't the greatest Joker ever.
Oh, Arkham, period. But just like the style of...
Yeah, it was
like
so
him
good.
singing to you in the ending and things like that.
Like the way the Riddler was in that game. You know what I mean?
I think they nailed every single
I 99% of that game. I didn't get the last mission. It was one of those combat things that you have to do the training shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't do the last one, man. I couldn't do it.
I 100% of those games. It's a fantastic game. Probably some of my favorites. I did like City. I wasn't big on Night.
I thought Night was cool, but it was a knock-off story. Yeah. You know what I mean? It was literally under the the Red Hood.
Yeah. Like,
you know
my thing was like I was a little disappointed with that one because I wanted more from that. But Asylum, I say, is my favorite of the series just because how complex the story was and how
awesome.
You're stuck in the damn asylum and things like that.
And tell me it wasn't crazy. It just looked nuts.
Yeah, and still to this day my favorite one. You can get it remastered. You can get it regular.
Yeah, I have the original one for Xbox 360.
Yeah.
I beat the game in 3 days.
Yeah.
When I actually give a shit,
yeah,
that's all I play. Like everything's on hold, and that was one of the games.
Yeah, that was a fantastic game, and I think I'm gonna spot that one out because the DC fandom was a big thing, and they announced two Rocksteady.
It's funny because
Squad and Arkham Knight.
Well, they're making another
Gotham
Batman,
Knights.
right?
Gotham Knights, and the other one is Suicide Squad game. Gotham Knights is not Batman. It's the Sidekicks. It's Nightwing. It's Tim Drake.
It's like a Titans.
Batgirl.
It's like a Titans game kind of.
It plays like the origin. It's more on the sidekicks, not Batman himself. Batman supposedly died, and they.
Yo, one of the missions that always pissed me off was the Croc.
Killer Croc.
Yeah, when you happen to hop on the wooden logs and you don't know where he's coming from and you have to do that, like that always pissed me off.
So one of my most iconic things in that game is Joker. Like Joker in general, like the things he did in that game, like the messages he left you.
Yeah.
Him singing. Him singing "One Is the Only One,"
and he pops up on TV screens and stuff like that. Like,
and then,
hey, bats!
Yeah, and then he sings a song in City that like pretty much brings everything together as well. So there's a lot of things. I honestly, if I'll talk to my Louis Beans, put as one of the musics in here, it'd be cool. But it's pretty much Mark Hamill singing, and they're always great. They're always fun. Only you. He's saying only you.
One of the hardest missions also, but I didn't mind losing because. Now, I don't really find cartoon characters to be sexy, right? But Poison Ivy in that game looked amazing.
Yeah.
And she was probably one of the hardest parts, you know what I mean? Like, I remember all that. It was so cool. Everything about that game is... I would give that game... I would out of 5, I would give it like a 7.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. I'm actually very happy that you mentioned that game because one of the things that was in my head because I was thinking of going newer.
Yeah,
and I was gonna go with Alan Wake.
Yeah,
but I can always showcase that another day.
Yeah, there's always another.
You know what I mean? But that shows you that I was somewhat thinking about it, but literally I just off the whim. I've been thinking about Doom because I want to go back and I want to play that. You know what I mean? And I also want to play the new one. I only played like for 8 minutes and the game was stolen on me. You know what I mean? So.
Batman Arkham Asylum. If you have not played it, there's many
you have
ways
Kevin Conroy as Batman. You're literally the animated series. The best parts of the animated series, which is the voices, are in the games. Like, how can you go wrong with that? You can't. Exactly. I am so happy of your choice, man. That was fucking awesome.
Batman Arkham Asylum. I recommend that to everyone. Take a chance to beat it. They have the remasters. They have the regular ones. You pick any one you want. But go through Asylum. Asylum was such a
They didn't have the Batmobile in Asylum, right? He was just running around.
Well, you didn't drive it.
Yeah, it was like a video. It was a cutscene.
He drove it in, and it got like hijacked and shit.
Because in like Arkham City's awesome.
Arkham City, yeah.
And they had the Batmobile, and then the Arkham Knight. I remember you got to use the Batmobile in like the old school Batmobile, the '89 one.
Yeah, in the races.
In the races, I thought that was cool.
Yeah. All right. Let's get to the challenge.
Oh, the next challenge.
I gave you my challenge first last time.
I don't remember.
All right.
It doesn't matter.
So I'll let you go first.
All right. So now I've been thinking long and hard.
Okay.
And I wanted to give you something that will test you a little bit.
Okay.
But also be fun at the same time for like nostalgic purposes.
Okay.
It's going to be NES.
Okay.
I have 3 games in mind for you.
Okay.
And you get to pick one.
Okay.
Right. And the theme of this is superheroes.
Okay.
So I throw at you
really bad superhero games.
Oh, there was. There definitely was. But I will throw at you Superman. I watched the gameplay. It looks horrible, but
you're talking about
for NES.
I remember that game.
The Punisher.
I had
for
that.
NES. Did you beat it?
Yeah.
I hate you. Now you have the choice between Batman or Batman Returns. Batman Returns is almost the number one
I have Batman.
It's Batman Returns. Do you have that?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I have Batman though.
Okay.
I finished Batman.
I was going to throw Swamp Thing in there,
yeah.
but it's like $1,000 for that game.
I ain't paying
It's crazy. So the choice is yours. I wanted the superhero thing. You know what I mean?
You know what? I haven't played it in a while. I'll do Batman.
The original Batman?
Yeah.
Okay. You have it.
If
right?
anything,
I have it as well. Because if you don't have it, you can borrow.
Honestly, I'll challenge myself. I'll do Batman and Batman Return.
You're gonna do both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, you got a lot of time on your hands.
There's not a lot of time. The first Batman is not that long of a game.
I never played it. I own it. Never played it.
I remember like half that game.
I remember watching gameplay for it. You know what I mean?
So it played a lot like Ninja Gaiden. So like it was very similar gameplay and stuff like that. I have it. It's in there. I think I gave you one.
What?
The Batman.
No, the Batman came from Sal.
Okay, because I had two.
Yeah, no, the Batman.
No, I gave you Narc. I think I gave you a Narc.
I don't know.
No. Okay.
The only game I borrowed from you was Captain America.
No, because I had a second cartridge.
I had a Captain America. Because I got all my NES games right there. I know what I got.
No, I had Narc. Yeah, I'll take Batman.
Okay, that's good. I wanted like a superhero kind of thing.
That's cool.
And I was kind of hoping you'd go with the Punisher because
Punisher's very fast.
I don't know. I've never played him.
So Punisher is like you just a square and you just shooting people and stuff like that. And
but it was rated like I looked at
4 stages.
I looked at it, and I looked at what was the greatest ranked superhero games for NES. That's how I went through this.
I got Punisher in like maybe 4 years ago, the video game con. It was like $10, so I was like, all right, cool.
See, Swamp Thing. If Swamp Thing wasn't so expensive, I would have loved to try that myself.
So you're like a cursor, and you're shooting things, and you just use the controller and the buttons. So you would think they would have made it for the gun.
Oh, never mind. It's bidded. Yeah, average price for Swamp Thing right now goes from anywhere from $153 to $419.
That's ridiculous.
When I saw that, I was like, yeah, no, that's complete. That's what you get out of the garage.
Yeah.
You know, when people don't know what they have.
I'll choose Batman.
Okay, that's cool. Batman. That's cool. I hope you enjoy it.
So, I have. So mine is only one game, but I challenge you to do something with the game.
I know, you were telling me about it, and I was like, damn, this motherfucker's really trying to kill me out here.
I will give you the time, though. You don't have... to finish the challenge, I'll give you time after the next cast. I want you to beat the game, but I want you to finish the challenge. I'm challenging you to Super Mario World.
Super Mario World.
My challenge, though...
For NES. I have it.
My challenge, though, is for every single Yoshi coin... in every single stage has to be finished.
Okay.
So it has to be fully 100%. So
how do you know if you 100%ed? Is there like a thing that tells you?
So when you have your opening, the turtles, instead of having shells, they all have Mario heads.
See, Super Mario World, you can save.
You can save.
So I have no problem doing it. I can spend an hour a day and do this.
But I also want the whole Star World and all the special done.
I'm up for the challenge because that was a game that I never really even cared to venture off into. Yeah. It is Mario. You can't go wrong with it. No, you know what I mean? It's the same setup. Yeah. You know what I mean? It just looked very long. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because I ain't never went past that first world part. You know what I mean? So
it is a long game. That's the reason I'm going to give you some time with it.
No, I feel like a month will suffice if I dedicate time to it. Mm-hmm. Because that will be a game that I don't get frustrated with.
So... you will get eventually.
Yes, but not like Darkwing Duck.
So, the thing with Mario World, there's a lot of like secret little things. There's a lot of things.
I'm gonna have to get that gameplay book.
Yeah, and this is the thing I was saying. Like, yeah, I can understand you can beat it, but I want you to beat it 100%.
Okay. Yeah. No, I'm cool with that. I'm down with that. I like that.
Super Mario.
See, because I like Mario, and this will be an interesting challenge. I'll do it, and I got the game. I own it.
And yeah, the 2DS does not play. Actually, you can actually buy it on the 2DS.
Yeah, no, just like $20, $30.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Damn, that's pricey.
Yeah, no, Mario games are not no joke.
Really?
Well, I thought it was like Super Mario World. I'm gonna look it up right now. Hold on.
No, because they have the Super Mario Advance 2, which is Super Mario World. That one's probably not that expensive. If it's like $30, fuck that. Just play that. That's the NES one.
Super Mario 64. No. Super Mario 64. No. Super Mario World is Game Boy Advanced.
Yeah.
Super Mario Brothers. The Super Mario Land 3D.
No, it's
there's no Super Mario World.
It's Super Mario Advance 2. Super Mario World. It's called Super Mario Advance 2.
Super Mario Advanced.
Because Advance 1 was Mario 2. Let me see.
It's Super Mario World is for the Advanced.
Yeah.
I don't have the Advanced.
Okay.
I used to. So I will be playing it on my Super Nintendo.
I was just checking if it's available on the market on the 3DS.
No, it's all good. I'm with it. I have the game, so I don't mind playing it on my console. But 100%ing it on a handheld would have been dope because I can just travel with it and stuff like that. So yeah, challenge accepted, man. Actually, I don't have a choice but to. That's the only thing that you gave. It's the only thing you gave me. So
the only one you gave that. So there's a lot. That's the thing is that this game has a lot of secrets.
I'm gonna have because I know that they got that manual that tells you everything of how to do it. I'm gonna fucking get that bad boy. I'm gonna do it.
Special is special. It's hard.
I'll probably start that, in here and there, spare time. You know what I mean? Okay. It's cool. I can put other things on hold for that.
Challenge accepted. I got Batman for NES. You got Super Mario World.
I just wanted the superhero feel for you, but I 100% wanted NES.
Yeah.
100%, because I never played those games. I don't know if they're hard or not.
The Superman game, I don't remember it enough, and Superman has never had a good game, so.
It looked really bad.
It's like the flying building and shit, right?
Yeah, it looked really, really bad.
Yeah. I think they did it for Atari.
He's like fat, and he looks fat and he's short and shit. And it just goes up and down. I watched the little gameplay of it. I don't know if it was good or not. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because then they also had the Spider-Man. There was a Spider-Man game for NES.
Yeah, it was okay. It was nothing special.
I've never played.
It was like the animated series kind of thing.
Okay. I just, like I said, I never played them, so I don't know.
All right. So challenge accepted, and I think that's it.
Well, before we wrap this up, man, it was a little unfortunate stuff that just happened recently in my life.
Okay.
When we were discussing, the NES cast, I was explaining to you my friend who I used to go to his house and I played Mega Man and listened to Guns N' Roses and stuff like that. We had a lot of time together. He actually just recently passed away.
Yeah. And
I just wanted to dedicate this cast to him. Sad what happened, and I don't really want to get into the details and stuff like that because it's really sad. But I just want to dedicate this to him, and you know what I mean. Just everybody, just be safe out there.
Yeah.
That's all I ask.
Take care of one another and look out for each other.
My man Ernie.
Yeah.
He was a good kid.
Yeah, man.
But it is what it is. Life as we know it is not fair. Yeah. So I just wanted to, I was gonna do it in the beginning, but we hopped right into it. And I didn't want to have any type of negativeness in the beginning because this is our first cast together.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'm so excited about actually being back in the mix again. You know what I mean? And so I just wanted to dedicate specifically today because I just found out the other day that it happened 3-4 weeks ago. Yeah. And it was crazy how I even found out about it. Something told me on the train to look them up.
Yeah.
And then I found out, sad news and stuff. So rest in peace, brother.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
So we're going to wrap this up. This is the Game of Rage podcast. I am Mark the Mike. He's Tenacious T. Follow us on all our social medias. We have Instagram, Tumblr, Twitter, YouTube, SoundCloud, and Twitch TV. All Mark with the Mike. Follow Red Cyclone Inc. on all those same things, and WordPress. It has every single link there. Follow Game On.
Yeah, Retro Video Game Store located out on Long Island at 2 different locations, one in Smithtown, one in Miller Place. I'm pretty sure that I spoke about them through this entire cast.
Yeah.
I think you get the gist of what they about, but they'll fit you for any of your retro video game needs, which in the future possibly the next cast that we do. We might have Tristan himself as a special guest, straight from the store of Game On.
Sweet.
While he's sitting there serving the public.
Nice. I'm looking forward to that. We'll start getting some questions. This would be our first interview.
Yeah. And I'm excited for it. And he's excited for it. I was just there 2 days ago, and he was like, so what's up? What are we doing?
So maybe he may have to be added to the challenge for the next.
Yeah, listen, he will be about that 100,000%, because that's all this man does. Yeah. That's all he does is at home play retro video games, and he wants to accomplish everything. Yeah. He plays such obscure games that you would look at like, why the hell did they ever even make a stupid game like this, like River on the Bayou or something like that? You know what I mean? He plays games like that, so he would definitely be down. But I don't know if there's going to be too many things that we're going to stump with him. There's only one game that I know that he can't beat.
Yeah.
And I was there trying.
Yeah.
And that's the one game that I know I can stump you with, but I'm not going to throw that at you just yet.
All right.
Shouts out to Ray Sean. Shouts out to Sal the Drunk Yeti. Yep. Shout out to all of our listeners out there. Please like and subscribe all of our casts.
Yep. Peace out. Laters. And always remember, fuck Zordon. And
I love how we say fuck Zordon in just other podcasts.
Yes, because he should know.
Everybody should know that. Fuck